This is you, born in 1843, in a small, cramped house in the back streets of Sheffield, England. Your father works 14 hours a day in a steel factory. Your mother takes in laundry to make ends meet. You share a single bed with two brothers. The walls are thin, the winters are brutal, and nobody in your family has ever had anything to look forward to. You are 6 years old the first time you see it, a bundle of rags tied together with string. Rolling across the cobblestones outside your door, an older boy kicks it hard against the wall. It bounces back. He kicks it again. You have never wanted anything so badly in your entire life. By the time you are 8, you are out in that street every single day. There are no rules. There are no teams. There are no goals. Just boys from the neighborhood kicking whatever they can find across the ground. Sometimes it is a rag bundle. Sometimes it is a pig's bladder blown up with air. Sometimes it is a lump of wood. It does not matter. You kick it anyway. The game has no name yet, not officially, but everyone plays it. Rich boys play it in the courtyards of expensive schools. Poor boys like you play it in the mud between the houses. The only difference is that the rich boys have is actual balls. You have whatever you can find. You are 10 years old when you first hear about the schools up north making rules for the game. Your neighbor's son comes back from a grammar school in the city and tells you about it. He says the boys there are not allowed to pick up the ball with their hands. He says there are 2 posts at each end of the field. He says there is a referee who blows a whistle. You have never heard of anything so organized in your life. By the time you are 15, the city of Sheffield is completely obsessed. In 1857, Sheffield Football Club is founded just a few miles from where you live. It is the oldest football club in the entire world, and it exists right on your doorstep. You watch their matches from the edge of the field with your boots barely holding together. The players wear long trousers and heavy cotton shirts. There are no numbers on their backs, no substitutes, no halftime oranges. Just men running across a muddy field trying to get a ball between 2 posts. You want in, badly. At 16, you approach one of the club organizers after a match. You tell him you can run faster than any boy in your street. He looks at your worn-out boots and your patched jacket and he almost laughs, but he lets you train with them anyway, once, just to see. You do not go home that evening until it is completely dark. The training is nothing like you imagined. There are rules, but nobody fully agrees on what they are. Some players insist you can use your hands, others say absolutely not. Arguments break out constantly. 2 players come to blows over whether a goal was legitimate. The referee has no real authority. He is just a man who volunteers to stand in the middle and shout. Nobody really listens to him, but you love every single second of it. By 1863, everything changes. You are 20 years old and the Football Association is founded in London. For the first time in history, there is one set of official rules for the game. No hands, no hacking at opponents' legs, no tripping. 2 teams of 11 players. A proper referee with actual authority. The game finally has a name, Association Football, and it is spreading faster than anyone predicted. You read about it in the newspaper at the factory where you now work alongside your father. The words blur slightly because your reading is not perfect, but you understand enough. The game you have been playing in the streets your entire life is now official. It is real. It has rules. And for the first time, it feels like something that could actually matter. Your club adopts the new FA rules immediately. Training becomes more serious. The matches become more organized. Crowds begin to gather at the edges of the fields, not thousands of people. Not yet. Just curious neighbors and factory workers standing in the cold, watching men kick a ball, but they are watching. And something about being watched changes everything. You are selected for your first proper competitive match in 1865. You pull on a heavy cotton shirt that is too big for you. Your boots are steel-tipped but offer almost no ankle support. The ground is frozen solid beneath your feet. There are no changing rooms. You change behind a hedge. There is no hot water. There is no warm-up routine. You simply arrive, strip down to your kit in the freezing cold, and play. The match is brutal. Players from the opposing team tackle with their entire body weight. There are no shin guards, no padding of any kind. You take a boot to the shin in the first 10 minutes that leaves a bruise the size of your fist. You do not come off. There are no substitutes. If you come off, your team plays with 10 men and you never get invited back. So you run through it, you score in the second half. a low, hard shot that skids across the frozen ground and squeezes inside the left post. The small crowd on the touchline makes a noise you have never heard directed at you before. It is approval, pure and simple, and it hits you somewhere deep in the chest. After the match, you walk home alone through the dark streets. Your shin is throbbing. Your lungs are burning from the cold air. You have no money. You have no fame. Nobody outside your neighborhood knows your name. But you feel like the richest person in Sheffield. In 1871, the FA Cup is announced, the first ever knockout football competition in history. Every club affiliated with the Football Association can enter. Your club enters. You cannot sleep the night before your first FA Cup match. You lie in your narrow bed staring at the ceiling thinking about it. This is real, this is organized, this is history being made, and you are in it. The stadium is not what you would call a stadium. It is a roped-off field with a wooden stand on one side that holds perhaps 200 people. The rest of the crowd stands on the grass around the pitch. There are no seats, no toilets, no refreshment stands. Just people packed together in the cold, sharing body heat and opinions about every single thing that happens on the field. The noise is extraordinary. You have never heard so many people making so much noise about something you are doing. When you touch the ball, the crowd reacts. When you miss a chance, they groan. When your team scores, they erupt. The sound travels through your entire body like a physical thing. Your team is eliminated in the second round. You lose 2-1 on a pitch so muddy that by the end of the match, it is impossible to tell which team is wearing which color. You walk off the field covered from head to toe in mud, exhausted, defeated, already thinking about next season. The 1870s bring something new. Crowds are getting bigger, matches are being reported in newspapers. People are traveling from other towns to watch games. Football is no longer just a local thing. It is becoming something larger than anyone anticipated. And with that growth comes something uncomfortable. Money. Not for you. Not yet. The FA rules are very clear. Football must remain amateur. Players must not be paid. The game is meant to be played for the love of it and nothing else. This is fine for the wealthy gentlemen who play for clubs in London and the South. They have jobs, they have incomes, they have families who support them. They can afford to play for free. You cannot. Every match you play means time away from work. Every training session means lost wages. Your father is getting older. His hands shake now from years at the factory. The money you bring in matters, and yet you are giving hours of your week to football and receiving absolutely nothing in return. You are not alone in feeling this. All across the north of England, working-class players are growing frustrated. The southern gentlemen who run the FA love the idea of a pure amateur game, but they have never had to choose between playing football and feeding their family. You have to make that choice every single week. In 1879, a player from your club is secretly paid for playing. Not much, just enough to cover his lost wages. The FA finds out. He is banned. The club is sanctioned. But the secret is out. Players in the north are being paid under the table all across the region. The amateur ideal is cracking under the weight of reality. By 1885, the FA finally gives in. Professional football is made legal. Players can now be paid officially for playing the game. You are 42 years old. Your knees are gone. Your best years are behind you. The professionalization of the game comes just slightly too late for you to benefit fully. But younger players around you suddenly have something you never had. A career, a wage, a future in football. You sit on the bench during a match in 1886 watching a 19-year-old collect his first ever professional wage packet after the game. He holds it in both hands and stares at it like it is something sacred. You remember being 19. You remember playing on frozen pitches and boots held together with wire. You remember walking home alone in the dark with a bruised shin and empty pockets feeling like the richest person in Sheffield. You do not begrudge him a single penny. In 1872, something happened that you still think about years later. England played Scotland in the first ever official international football match in history. You were not selected for the England squad. You were never going to be. The selectors preferred gentlemen from southern clubs. Working-class players from Sheffield were considered rough around the edges, regardless of their ability. The match ended 0-0 in front of 4,000 people in Glasgow. But the fact that it happened at all meant something enormous. Football had crossed a border. It was no longer just English. It was becoming something that belonged to the world. You retire from playing competitive football in 1887. You are 44 years old. Your left knee requires a walking stick on cold mornings. Your hands are calloused from years of factory work done alongside your football career. You have no pension. The FA offers nothing to retired players. There is no benefit scheme, no support structure. You played the game for over 2 decades and you walk away from it with nothing except the memories. Your youngest son is 12 years old. He has your same build, your same instinct for where the ball is going before it gets there. You watch him play in the street outside your house one evening and you feel something you cannot fully name. He is better than you were at his age, much better. And the game he is going to play will be better too. More organized, more professional, more respected. You sit on the front step and watch him until the light fades completely. You never got rich from football. You never got famous. Nobody outside your neighborhood ever knew your name. You played on frozen pitches with no protection, in boots that fell apart, in front of crowds that forgot you by the following morning. You received no wages for most of your career and no support when it ended. But you were there at the beginning, when the game had no rules and no name and no shape. You were there when the first official rules were written. You were there for the first FA Cup. You were there when the first professional contracts were signed. You were there when football was still being invented. 50 years from now, the whole world will know this game. 100 years from now, billions of people on every continent will stop what they are doing to watch it. Stadiums will hold 100,000 people. Players will earn more in a week than your father earned in a lifetime. None of them will know your name, but you were first.